Joining us now is Ojineka Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Ojineka. You people should stop making me
Fine. Off your mic. Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you? Good morning, Ayo. How are you? Turn off your mic. Good morning, Rufai. How are you? Well, all right. Good morning to you viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. World leaders have paid tribute to Brazilian football legend Pele, who died on Thursday from multiple organ failure at the Albert Einstein Hospital in Sao Paulo, where he had been treated for colon cancer. Pele was arguably the greatest football player ever. He is credited with scoring a world record 1,281 goals in 1,363 appearances during his 21-year career, including 77 goals in 92 matches for his country. He was the only player to win the World Cup 3 times, lifting the trophy in 1958, 1962 and 1970. The player, who will be dubbed the King, was introduced to the world at the age of 17 at the 1958 World Cup in Sweden, the youngest player ever at the tournament. He carried Brazil to football's heights and became a global ambassador for the sport. His fame was such that in 1967, factions of a civil war in Nigeria agreed to a brief ceasefire so that he could play an exhibition match in the country. He was knighted by Britain's Queen Elizabeth II in 1997 and named FIFA's Player of the Century in the year 2000. In a poll conducted by BBC Sport in 2020, Pele was voted the greatest player ahead of Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Diego Maradona. He was 82 years old. In Afghanistan, Ismail Mashal, a professor from Kabul University, has opposed the Taliban's ban on female students at universities in the Sharia-governed country. The ban on female students earlier this month sparked outrage from the international community. During a live debate program on a local news channel, the professor tore up his diploma certificates, saying that he does not need the certificates if the women in the country are denied access to education. In Nigeria, the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, on Thursday met with the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, at the force headquarters in Abuja over the recent extrajudicial killings by trigger-happy policemen in the state following the death of Lagos-based lawyer Omobolanle Rahim, who was shot dead by a police officer, ASP Drambi Vandi, on Christmas Day. The governor discussed the possible avenues to achieve speedy justice for the victims of the recent shootings in his state. Honor entertainment, tributes pour in for the undisputed queen of British fashion, Dame Vivienne Westwood, who died peacefully on Thursday. Westwood made her name with her controversial punk and new wave styles in the 1970s and went on to dress some of the biggest stars in fashion. The iconic fashion designer came to prominence with her androgynous designs, slogan t-shirts, and irreverent attitude towards the establishment. She was also known as a staunch activist and brought causes she cared about, like climate change, to the catwalk. Westwood was made Dame for services to fashion in 2006. Memorable runway moments include her 9-inch platform shoes, which famously tripped up supermodel Naomi Campbell. She was 81 years old. I loved Vivienne. May she rest in peace. Let's begin What's Trending with reactions trailing the threat by the People's Democratic Party to G5 governors that they may be expelled from the party if they were to go ahead to announce their support for any presidential candidate other than Atiku Abubakar. The G5 governors, who are currently in London to decide on the candidate to back in the 2023 presidential election, have insisted that they have done nothing wrong to deserve sanctions by the party. They call the PDP's bluff, saying threats of sanction
do not scare them, even as they stated that those proposing such sanctions know the consequences. The Rivers State Governor, Wike, who is the leader of the group, has been seen with APC chieftains since he fell out with the PDP's national leadership. Last week, he declared that he will reveal the candidate he'll support in January 2023. Wike has, however, been consistent that he will not leave the PDP, while users on social media have pulled up a clip during the PDP convention when the governor reiterated the claim.
Let me vow today, anybody who emerges here, I will support the person to the fullest. Anybody who emerges here today, I will support the person to the fullest. Because I'm a committed party person, because I love this party, because since 1998, I've been in this party. I work for this party. I will not go anywhere. This is my party.
A lot of people on social media are saying, nobody asked him to make this promise. He did reiterate here that he will support anybody that would win at that convention. What are we saying here? You were saying he's led the G5 governors astray at this moment?
Thank God he was caught on camera when he said that, because, politicians can quickly deny that we didn't say it. But it was loud and clear, everybody watched it. But you know what? Oji has put other governors in a political dilemma. 4 others are running for position. It's only Mr. Wike that's not seeking re-election, and he led them to this. That's why you can see, based on the reports coming out of London, there are discordant tunes among them. In fact, one of the reports said he had to fly to Spain and left them because they couldn't agree. And I'm sure they are beginning to realize what is happening now. Look at Seyi Makinde, for instance. Even without PDP infighting, it is going to be difficult for Seyi Makinde to go against a Teslim Folarin that is a tested politician. Teslim Folarin is one of the first people to serve twice in the Senate in Oyo State. He's been there since 2003. He was first elected at the age of 39. And he has his groundwork. Look at Benue. There's Reverend Father Alia of the APC. That is a strong contender that a lot of people are tilting in his favor. The likes of the Mungwan, yes, they might still be able to wriggle them right through. They have good base in Enugu State, the likes of Ikpeas, but they are all running for Senate. But if the PDP are just threatening they're going to take their structure away from them, it's going to be problematic. If they say, okay, the Constitution says you cannot vie for a position without a political party. If they expel them from the party, then it's as good as done for them. So in all of this, Mr. Wike has nothing to lose. But look at the other people. They have things at stake. And in all of these negotiations, they are meeting brick walls. Some reports said they talked to the Tinubu camp. But the Tinubu camp said, I can't give you assurances, but these are reports. I'm not going to say they are confirmed. But all is not well in their camp, and they are beginning to see. And you can see where the PDP is waiting for them. That if they make any decision that is against the presidential candidates, then they will pull out the structure from them. And you need your party. So I think they should think properly. Yesterday I used the worry phrase that the matter get K-leg, you get Kobo leg. And today I want to use a Yoruba phrase that say, when the Yoruba say, Oroni kolofin, what it means is that it's very corrugated and undulated. So they should think properly about their actions. I'm sure most of them are back to sign their budget, like somebody was saying this morning. But it is fast becoming a political cul-de-sac, except they have a joker that we don't know about.
Yes, Ayo, the G5 governors are saying that the threat do not scare them, and those that are, threatening sanctions know the consequences. What do you make of that actual?
It'll be interesting to find out what the consequences, because it looks like they're now throwing consequence against consequence. So the PDP has said the consequence is that you will be exposed to expulsion, because it is tantamount to anti-party.
No, the G5 are saying that the PDP, those that are threatening.
Oh yes, I'm saying that the first consequence was thrown. So they've now said that your consequence will initiate a consequence, is what I'm saying. So it's now a battle of consequence. Yes. Unfortunately, there's no constitutional basis for their consequence, aside from the fact that maybe they said they're going to pull down, destroy, expose things that would really jeopardize their chances at the elections next year. That's probably what the consequences are. Following from what Rufai said, it will be very difficult to imagine that these governors didn't count the cost before embarking on this journey. Perhaps they didn't quite see it turning out this way. Perhaps they thought that this would have been resolved much earlier with both of them coming to a middle ground. Perhaps maybe the chairman stepping down or something around that. We don't know what happens in their closed-door meetings. That's the truth. Even these speculations as to who are they going to endorse, who are they not going to endorse. In fact, Mr. Agu, who was here, a PDP chieftain who was here earlier, had said that one of the governors, in fact, not all of them are abroad. So one of the G5 governors is here in Nigeria. So there are speculations upon speculations. My take, and has always been, is that this does not augur well for the party. Unfortunately, egos are fighting. There are people who are not agreeing and are willing to bring down the party, because now they are now throwing consequences against, at each other, are willing to bring down the party for selfish interests. Like Rufai mentioned, there are one governor and other candidates who are vying for elected positions on the platform of the PDP. Did they consider I was going to get this far? I doubt it very much, because at the end of the day, interests are paramount. Beyond, at the end, what caused this are personal interests, and what is going to sustain them personal interests. It is quite unfortunate, and now the world is watching to see what is going to be the conclusion of this long matter in the PDP.
The saga continues.
Dr.
Abati.
Okay, what are the issues here? We had a spokesperson of the PDP here, and he said the party will not reward bad conduct. And in that regard, he must be referring to Section 58, subsection 1 of the PDP Constitution. What he says is that you are not allowed to expose the party to ridicule. And as I pointed out yesterday, it may even be very difficult for the PDP to expel them at this time, because they have followers, they have supporters who may not necessarily agree with them. And if you go and turn them into scapegoats and you punish them, that may get more sympathy for them among their followers in the various constituencies. Number two, the Constitution of Nigeria, Section 40, prescribes freedom of association. You can make your choice as an individual. Okay, but under Section 68(1) of the 1999 Constitution, it addresses the problem of defections, which has been a major issue in Nigerian democracy, not even now, since the First Republic. So, but these politicians, they have not said they are defecting. And even if they defect, that Section 68(1) refers to members of the National Assembly. You can only defect if there is problem within your party, if there is dissension or crisis within your party. It doesn't quite apply to governors, which was why Ben Ayade could leave PDP and go to APC. That was why David Umahi could leave one party to another. That was why, what's his name now? Governor of Edo State, Godwin Obaseki, could leave the APC and go to PDP. So there is a moral body here. It's a challenge that we'll continue to face. But these governors are not talking about defection. So Governor Wike, the problem that he has is that he's on tape as having said he will never leave the PDP. Yeah. However, he has not yet left the PDP. He had promised that he will support whoever emerged from the primaries, where he has not yet made the declaration of who he is supporting. That we will get to know in January, as they have promised. However, one of the stories coming out of this London Jamboree is that they met with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but the APC has not come out publicly to admit that there was a meeting. But we were told that even that meeting ran into troubled waters, because they were making demands on the APC presidential candidate that he should support them in their states, those of them who are running for positions, 4 of them, with the exception of Wike, who is not seeking a position. Now, what they don't know is that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has experience in that kind of politics. I cited yesterday the politics of 2007. He got the title, the last man standing, because he refused to play that politics. When the Yoruba, the Southwest, said, oh, he's our son, let him get a second term. And all the other AD governors supported President Obasanjo at the time. Yes, he got the second time, but all the other governors in the Southwest, they lost their positions. The PDP shut them out. It was only Bola Ahmed Tinubu who refused to cooperate, who stayed on the message that became the last man standing in Lagos State. So he understands the risks involved. So what you can now draw from that is that, in fact, the G5 governors do not hold the aces. They are the ones seeking shelter. They are seeking shelter. Where they will find that shelter, whether in APC or Labour Party, they will lose some, they will win some. But, probably their best bet is to just stay within the PDP. In the best interest of Ungwanye, of Tom, and Sheyi Makinde, and the other person, who are looking for positions. Exactly. Otherwise, they may find themselves holding the wrong end of the stick.
Well said, Dr. Abati. Well, in the meantime, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Thursday embarked on a house-to-house campaign for the governing All Progressives Congress in Lagos State. The Speaker went on the campaign after commissioning some projects done by the administration of Surulere local government. Gbajabiamila posted a video of the trip on his official Twitter account showing the feedback he got from the people at the grassroots, while assuring victory for the APC in 2023. Let's take a look. Well, Ayo, as you see here, there's a difference now. I had to juxtapose this story. This is what they're supposed to be doing within their party, going around campaigning instead of this divide.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'd like to see, OJ? I'd like to see this as a regular occurrence where elected representatives of zones hold consultations regularly with the people who voted in, not just every 4 years during election. I'm not saying that's what Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila has done. However, we see that 4 representatives, and sometimes it's the people who don't understand that this person is in the House to represent my views. Therefore, these conversations and consultations that is having, fantastic, it's election season, but we want to see it even more often, especially with all elected representatives, whether at State House level or federal level.
I love it, Ayo. Unfortunately, I wanted to end with Pele, but I'm hearing we don't have time. Dr. Bati Rufai, a quick comment before we wrap up the segment.
Well, Femi Gbajabiamila has been in the House of Representatives since 2003. In the 7th Assembly, he was a minority leader, and then he's been Speaker of the House of Representatives since 2015. His supporters credit him with the fact that he has a grassroots common touch, and he has remained very consistent in staying within the same political camp. Some people will call him Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's boy, but that doesn't matter. But he's been very consistent politically. And by the way, when I was referring to 2007 election, where Tinubu differed from the other governors, no, it was actually 2003, yes. Not 2007. Yeah. It was in 2003 that Obasanjo sought the second time. So that drama was in 2003. So it's good to see him going from house to house in his constituency. Yes. Surulere one constituency where he's very popular, and he probably will get another term, but he's been there since 2003. Absolutely. Maybe other politicians will learn from him in terms of that common touch and connection. All
right, 1 second.
Please, we don't want to be seeing politicians come to our homes only during elections. They should come to our home all year round and know the problem.
Yes.
It's so easy to see them during election now. It was during election last time we saw Vice President Oshibaju in people's homes. Since then, we've not seen it in more people's homes. Let's not make it about election. Let's make it about truly the people.
I like that.
Shine your eye 2023. And please, INEC, make it easy for people to get PVCs. They are complaining.
Yes.
People are not getting their PVCs.
Well, thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all next year.